All right, everybody. I'm here to take the floor to talk about cryptocurrency. It's been a while that I've talked about that subject. I think many of you know about the Brave browser, which is very practical for privacy and to minimize the amount of cookies and of tracking that you're facing on the World Wide Web. And I was an early adopter of the BATS reward program. So back then, the payouts for watching ads added to a lot. And they started commissioning the Uphold wallet, which will not be serving Canadians shortly. So I had to withdraw my BAT tokens, convert them into Canadian money, and e-transfer them into my account. I didn't check my account, but I'm pretty sure it's going to make it there. So at the top, probably the amount of bats would have been worth about $300 or more. Right now, they were about $45. But the reason I'm making this video is that it's the first time that I'm actually cashing out cryptocurrency, like out of the internet money system. So that's kind of exciting. My friends were always skeptical that I could ever do that, but it's definitely a thing. It's a shame that the Uphold wallet won't be serving Canadians because it's e-transfer for us is super convenient, but the laws keep changing and it's an ever evolving landscape. So yeah, I'm here to tell the other story, the non Republican, bigoted NFT story of cryptocurrency. It's still out there, it's still real, and it's not going anywhere. So, yeah, I'm just a little bit offended at all the cynicism around NFTs. I get it. People who don't understand this ecosystem are just like dismissing it wholesale. But, there is a crowd that would play, this game Second Life, and and if you're not a gamer, you don't understand, but it's like the idea is if you decentralize the ownership, that is, if the server farms where your little trinket or virtual belt or hoodie or token is on, if it's like on the server farm of like 5 or 6 different big players, that it's not the same as if it's all on Mark Zuckerberg's server farms. That's basically the idea. The idea is that you can own art and you can own like stuff in your virtual condo of maybe one day what we'll be doing with our VR headsets. Like, I don't know. I always invested into this type of thing for the future. With COVID, am I a fan of going into the metaverse and spending so much time there? Not necessarily, but I also have savings in mainstream financial products too, so I never put all my eggs into this cryptocurrency basket anyway. Again, I just don't understand the demonization and the fear. It's a huge environmental toll, but so are credit cards. And in this day and age, so is AI. And this is just where we're going. And I feel you don't want to be just like a chump left out because taking possession of your keys and you're having it like petty cash in a suitcase in the internet world, it is not a bad thing. This is power. And I think a lot of people are just spreading disinformation about that because it's clickbait, because it's easy. But like, don't you want power in a world where like, you got to make the most out of your assets, and it's good to have liquidity, and it's good to have some of them you can send left and right without the CRA knowing. I'm not saying that you should start defrauding the government, but there was always, like with petty cash, there was always like a certain amount that is fair for bartering or for these smaller transactions to complement your business, to go around that. Not everything needs to be on paper, and it just doesn't mean that you're cooking the books. So that's basically the gist of it. I know that my Splinterlands NFT connection collection was worth like so much money a few years ago, and I kind of kept it and let it go down. So, this is a wild, wild west where you gotta have like a solid backbone, and you will have regrets. Like, I'm gonna be super honest. I do wish I had sold at the top, but at the same time, maybe I'll have more interest to play that game in the future, and I'll enjoy, all my little fighting collectible cards. It's kind of like a Pokemon card game, but online. That's what Splinterlands is. And I really believe in the project, and in that sense, I'm glad that I kept my money in there. And again, this is just a percentage of my investments. I will say, like, through the years, I started in 2016, like, all the gains that I've made have been canceled by dips or bad choices, trading one cryptocurrency for another that in retrospect was not the most lucrative. But I was always afraid of gambling. I was never a gambler, so I like that I got into the habit of gambling a little bit, like through life, I would call it, like through actual legit products and companies. I'm a lot more comfortable around that. And so this is not financial advice. Obviously, should have said that at the beginning. Only invest what you're willing to lose. But also, like, please, please, please don't associate the blockchain ecosystems with right-wing conservatism, bigotry, because this is letting them off easy. I often think about, like, what if, because this is what I work is like about. I'm a translator for women's shelters and women escaping violence with their children. Like, if they have a little a key for an account of cryptocurrency hidden somewhere with about $500 or $2,000, like, maybe they can use that to escape violence. Maybe their abusive partner might not know about it. It's just kind of like that money that is easy to hide. And this is a scenario all over the world. I can imagine a woman escaping violence in South America, and so therefore, yeah, don't let the loudest and the most idiotic people take the momentum away from you, because big banks and big money and big data they don't have your best interest at heart at all. So this is a bipartisan, like, solution, is just to start getting used to making a copy of your keys, leaving it at your mom's place in the attic, something like that, in case your house burns down. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again very soon. Ta-ta.